Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a couple of days. I do apologize. We're almost done with this deployment. Got 11 more days left, so when I get back on the 11th, we'll be doing streams every single day. So let's get right to it. Unfortunately, I did realize I kind of fucked up a little bit. It's not too major, but it involves me doing a lot of Aseprite work, which you're going to see in a second how I fucked up. The latest Sprite animation, we decided to make everything nighttime. Unfortunately, I just realized when I was reviewing the other videos, because I do that from time to time so I can get some ideas, that Mercury Lighthouse is currently in overcast, which means this whole entire background has got to be night. Thank God I know this is right now, because we got to keep things consistent. So I have to do that. And also, it's raining. Well, quote unquote raining. So there's a lot of things we have to do. So luckily, it's not too crazy. But let's see where we left off. We'll watch the movie and we'll go from there. But today's gonna be primarily fixing this and praying to God I don't mess this up. Alright. Mia with a scythe is such a mood. I might actually have her... Damn. So the problem with Mia right now is... we can see her face. The thing I've been going with these characters, for people that watched anime before, the eyes are a good indicator of someone's emotions at the time. So Mia, a lot of characters in this game, Mia, Jenna, they have their they have bangs. So what I'm doing is having their bangs cover their eyes so we can't see their emotions. But with Mia right now, her neutral has her eyes obviously visible. I don't have a sprite with her holding the scythe of her eyes covered, which is gonna take a lot of... it's not gonna take a lot of work. I can get that done in like 10 minutes, but I'm thinking that's fine. All right, but besides that, we should be good to go. I'm giving myself a little bit of extra time today, and we'll go from there. So let's do the rain, because the rain's a little bit easier. I noticed that literally like a couple minutes ago. I'm like, oh wait a minute, it doesn't have any rain on it. So we're gonna drag the rain. And we have to drag it. We have to actually make this the whole thing bigger. All right. We're going to have the rain covering the entire workspace. Bear with me. We're doing a lot of crap. I'll try to explain it the best that I can, but we need this whole entire workspace covered right now. All right. It should be good. Alright. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. So right now, the rain it's covering the entire thing. Obviously, we can't have it like this, so we have to do a couple of funky shenanigans. So it's currently a movie clip, that's what it has to stay as. We're gonna go to blend, and we're gonna add it. There we go, now it looks better. But, unfortunately, if we play this, the rain stays static. It doesn't move. So in order to get it to move, you have to turn this into a graphic. And that's how effects usually work. Usually. So what we're going to do, then we're going to make sure the rain is up top. So I have to rename this layer soon. Okay. Fuck. Okay, so here's what we're doing. I'm just going to play it real quick. There's the rain. We're good. Obviously... we can't do anything about it right now, but this is how the rain's going to play out. So we'll turn this back into a movie clip, and we should be good to go from there. Okay, so the rain's all set. I'm going to add it. Let's see how this looks as a screen. I think it's either going to be adding or screening it, but I think adding it's fine. Okay, now we're going to go over to Aseprite. We're going to do some stuff. So we'll just call this rain. Perfect. All right. This should take me at least probably 10 minutes to do, hopefully. Mercury. Perfect. Lucky tonight's a day off, so it shouldn't be that bad. So we're gonna copy all this. We're gonna call this, we'll make this new, a 1920 by 1080. We'll call this Mercury at night. Because we're doing, the reason why it's gonna be at night, because we're doing actual time passage. Because as we know, for the majority of the games, it takes place in the daytime, besides scripted events such as Grow, Kamobo, etc. And so what we're gonna do is just would have actual day transitions. Also, don't mind me, I'm drinking right now. So this is like the worst possible thing to say, but I do my best work when I'm intoxicated. Cherish your liver, people. Do not drink unless you're old in my age or able to drink. All right. Anyways, we'll call this Mercury at night. Fun fact: the array isn't in the game asset files, which is very strange. Very strange. So I had to actually make a new Mercury background. It was actually kind of crazy. All right, Mercury at night. Okay. Damn, this one actually might be kind of hard to do. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. We'll do a rough pass, then we'll do a secondary pass just to make sure we got rid of everything. So this one's just a rough pass. I'm not gonna be too anal about this. As long as this background is clear, we're good. But we're gonna be very, very careful with the statues. The reason why I'm not using Magic Wand is because, as you can see, there's numerous different colors here. And that's gonna take forever. I'm gonna be a little bit careful right here. We're being very rough right now. A little bit later, we'll do a secondary pass, which we're gonna make sure we didn't miss anything. All right. So make sure if you're ever be doing something like this, do not hold the left mouse key down, because if you mess up, you're gonna have to do everything all over again. Okay. And again, the reason why I'm doing this is because in the previous Sprite animation, we're at nighttime now. Having this in overcast, it's not gonna make any sense. Because Hart and Jenna's, scuffle was happening at the same time as Mia versus Minority. It's just their little scuffle ended a little bit later. That's what we're going with. Yeah, Hart and Jenna's little thing happened at the conclusion of Mia and Minardi's fight. So we do have to start transitioning into nighttime, which you already did in the previous one. Just being a little bit more careful here. Now let's make this square. That kind of fucked up right there. We're gonna fix that. Well, it's not going to be 100% perfect, but as long as we get rid of the majority of the grayish colors, we should be good. Because Night Sky actually has a good amount of grays, so I'm not going to be that anal about this. I still want this to look relatively good. This is why I started off with circles, now transitioning over to square. Actually, hold on, give me a second. As usual, don't mind the random spikes in the internet connection, because unfortunately, I'm still in this hotel for like 10 more days. As soon as I get back to my barracks, we'll be fine. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Just give me a moment. All right. So I don't fuck this up, I should be done in the next like 5 minutes. Don't let stuff like this intimidate you for taking up a project like this. There's a lot of experimenting for sure, but it's totally worth it in the long run. Perfect. I'm not going to be too anal about this. Surprisingly enough, we're doing a good job on this. Right here, I'm going to have to reduce the sizing a little tiny bit, just like this little corner. That should be good. Actually, no, let's bring it down a little bit more. All right, there we go. Okay. That actually looks really good. Oh, before I forget, this one should be released in August, because I do have to focus on a lore video that I have coming out on doppelgangers. Shouts to Mia, because he actually, I said doppelgangers a lot, and I think 2 sprite animation videos two sprite animation videos ago. So a lot of people don't know what the hell a doppelganger is. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna do a video on doppelgangers in video games. I already got it done. It's 15 pages long, but I actually need a secondary monitor. I don't have a secondary monitor right now because my monitor broke, because I was a fool. Long story short, I didn't give it enough protection in the transport vehicle because we switched hotels and it got messed up. And I didn't want the same mistake to happen again, so I'm actually waiting until I get back to my barracks to get a new monitor. It's only $70. I'm not complaining, but still, it's like, I'd rather not take the risk. So I'm only working on one monitor right now, which is my laptop. So that's why I really haven't had like a lore video out in a while. Even doing this is actually really hard, because if someone writes in the chat, I can't see unless I go back to OBS and check. So just bear with me. This will get released probably in August, but I do have a lore video I have to release in July. And that one was 15 pages long. So that's what I do during my shifts. All right. Again, we're not being too anal about this. Oh. All right, almost. We're gonna get that little corner in a second. Might as well do it now. And like I mentioned before, Aseprites could be your primary workhorse. There we go. Words are hard right now. It's like $290. Should be like $299 right now, but this is primarily what we use for this project. Okay. So let's just get this, then we'll move on. Make this a little tiny bit bigger. That should be good. Make this one a little bit smaller. Speaking of tutorials, I have to eventually get back to doing stuff with him. I made some new sprites with him, but long story short, I was still worried about crashes with Adobe Animate because crashes do happen a lot. So Isaac, Garrett, and Ivan versus tutorials, really, unfortunately, the quality, it wasn't the best because I was really cautious with that fight. So a lot of things I wanted to do, I could not do because of just me being stupidly cautious. So I have a lot of sprites that I just did not use with him, but I still feel I do need to make him a little bit more because tutorials and Minority, well, just villains in general, they're lacking in sprites compared to like the pro tags. Bear with me, everybody. Give me like 10 more minutes. It should be done. Especially VOD guys. You guys are the true heroes. All right. Because if I remember correctly, pro tags, all 8 of them, they have 21 sprites. Antagonists have 11. And don't even get me started with the normal enemies. They got nothing. So we had to do some funky stuff with like the ruffians. Well, the ruffian was what I used as an example. And oh my god, I had to make so many weird adjustments to that dude. I had to get him to work. Enemies can work. We just have to do a lot of work is what I'm getting at. Because they were never built for a sprite animation environment. Okay. We go. Good. All right. And I do have to make some more custom backgrounds. Like this one is straight up just custom because Mercury Lighthouse did not have anything. And I do like the way we came out. We made Mercury Lighthouse in my honest opinion. It came out really good. I'll bring it up in a second. Actually, I'll bring it up right now because I actually have it up. It could have been a little bit better, in my honest opinion, but I do like the way it came out. Okay. Make this one a little bit bigger. All right. Let's clean this up right here. And as usual, if anybody has any suggestions, just please let me know. I will try to implement whatever I can. Like hell, we have firearms in Golden Sun now. Somehow, some way, we got this to work, and I'm very happy with the way it came out. So if you have any weird, crazy suggestions, just let me know. I will try my best to actually get it to work. Sarah, we'll have a lot of fun with Sarah when she shows up. I'm not gonna have her do stuff until the end of the next Sprite animation. because the main focus is actually finishing up Mercury, which is gonna happen in the next one. Because Mercury Lighthouse will finally be completed. Then it's the cool custom stuff. Because for people that aren't familiar with this is a retelling of the Golden Sun story. We're loosely following lore, but we're making this more adult oriented and mature. That's for sure. There's a lot of time shenanigans happening here. Weird butterfly effects. But unfortunately, I'm the worst at telling the story, so no, pointless plug. You should probably watch the other Sprite animations. But no, this is a more mature, dark retelling of Golden Sun story. A lot of time shenanigans are happening. Things are happening very, very loosely to how lore is. Mercury House is still lit, but things are happening in the background. Let's just say that. And we are throwing Dark Dawn in the mix too. Okay. So this is done. We just have to finish right here and right here. So we'll do this side first, then we'll continue. Then from here, we'll finally add the background. And the only reason why we're doing this is because, like I mentioned before, we're trying to incorporate more nighttime sequences, because Golden Sun, for the most part, 95% of Golden Sun takes place in the daytime. We know there's a nighttime because of scripted events, and we could assume that once Isaac or Felix goes to bed, a night cycle passes by, but we never really see anything happen besides Komobo, Garou. We won't count Dark Dawn because the Grave Eclipse was just literally just the world being eclipsed. So we're trying to incorporate a lot of nighttime battles and a normal passage of time is where I'm getting at. But unfortunately, that means we have to make a lot of custom backgrounds, which takes a long time to do. Luckily, this background was relatively done with just changing the sky. Fuck. Whoops. That's on me. Be careful if you're holding on to the left mouse, because if you make a mistake, it's gonna take a long time to fix. Make this a little bit bigger. So after we're done with this, we'll make the background, and we'll go back to Adobe Animate. And unfortunately, I haven't been really streaming that much because, besides work, because I do 12-hour shifts, this internet at this hotel is very suspect. There'll be days where I just cannot get on. But I run speed tests every single time before I start streaming. And unfortunately, we do have a lot of hiccups. So I just gotta pick and choose. All right. Cool. All right. And before I forget, because this is pretty much a retelling of Golden Sun story, similar to, in a similar vein to a remake, I could say, if I can be cute about it for a second, we do have new characters, which includes Sarah over there and her squad. The reason why I made new characters is because me personally, I feel from Vale all the way up until Mercury, the tension was extremely high. Then after Mercury, it kind of dies down until you get to, I would say, Colosso is when things start picking up again. But you have a lot of, and I quote, dead space from Mercury all the way up to Colosso, which I feel giving Isaac's party a foil up until the end of Golden Sun 2 is definitely going to help out. Okay. Fortunately, this only goes up to 64, which kind of sucks. Gotta be very careful with the statue heads. This is the place where I was worried about the most. There we go. It does seem like implementing Dark Dawn aspects to this has been really good. Unfortunately, as we know, Dark Dawn is a 3DS game, which means we have to make custom sprites for those characters. Heart Sprite, God, Heart Sprite is just a Frankenstein concoction, but we got it to work. I really like the way it came out, and with Karis' sprite, because Karis is an antagonist because of plot reasons, which I won't spoil right now. Her sprite had to be done from the ground up using Jenna's as a base. Just bear with me, almost done. There we go. Come on. Perfect. This is gonna be close. That's just me. That's just my OCD acting up right there. That wasn't even that bad. You guys should have seen. No, I think I did the Sky one actually on stream. That one took a long time to do. Like, this one's not even that bad. But this is one of those situations where, unfortunately, you do have to do a lot of work in order to get your vision to work. Like, this isn't even that bad. I would say doing Karis' sprite, that's what's bad. That we really have to do a lot of crazy stuff to even get that to work. Like, there'll be good days, there'll be long days, there'll be shitty days, but if you have an idea, anything is possible. Just try it. Especially when it comes to sprite animation. Okay, cool. All right. Now, the only thing that's left is this section, which is not gonna be that bad. I kind of fucked up right there. Kind of, but it's not the end of the world. Wait, no, that's before. All right. I don't really even need to polish this up, but yeah, that's just me fucking up one time. Like, stuff like that that you're barely gonna notice. It's not the end of the world. I just want to make sure the majority of the gray is just gone. Like, things like this, like, sure, I can just take care of it now, but it's not gonna really be the end of the world. It's like something like this. This would be the end of the world. I would even say right there would be that. Speaking of long days, I think making the wintry mix version of Mercury Lighthouse, oh my god, which I'll show right now. Jesus, that took so long. Getting this done, oh man, especially all this. Oh my god. Never again. I shot myself in the foot because one of the sprite animations before Mercury Lighthouse proper, a winter storm happened. And I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta keep things consistent. If a winter storm happened, that means the Uri should have snow on it. I just shot myself in the foot because I didn't realize, oh crap, this is gonna take a long time for me to do. Okay, that's done. All right, so let's do this, and that should be it. Yeah, we're almost done. Just bear with me. Perfect. Eventually I do need a new mouse. Jesus Christ. What am I doing? Like right there, I'm not too worried about. Okay. Okay. OCD is such a bitch, people. It really is. There we go. All right, almost done. Alcohol break. Again, cherish your liver. All right, let's bring this down a little tiny bit. Get this little corner. I'm not gonna worry about right there. You know what? Fuck it. I am gonna worry about it. All right. You know what would really suck right now? It's because Aseprite doesn't have an autosave feature. That would really suck. I would actually cry. All right. Oh, this is actually kind of hard. This is actually kind of hard. Plagiarism. For those not familiar, Budokai 1, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, pretty much the majority of the tracks were plagiarized. So if you ever hear me yelling plagiarism, if a song comes up, that's why. Especially this one. Okay. Oh my god, we're finally done. That took literally 20 minutes. Probably 20 minutes. Okay, let's just make sure. Damn it! Sorry for screaming. Fuck! Thought I was done. I was not done. Oh. right, it's almost crunch time. Let's not fuck this up. As people will see, I get salty a lot. This is why I like showing my work. Because you just never know. People could actually see how long stuff like this takes. It is time consuming. We're not going to deny it. It really is time consuming. But it's totally worth it in the long run, in my honest opinion. I have a lot of fun doing this. Contrary to popular belief. It is pretty stressful. Unfortunately, I do only keep my work towards YouTube these days because, unfortunately, long story short, I do like the Reddit community. A lot of people are very welcome there, but it's very gate-kept. Very, very gate-kept. And there was a certain user who wanted to get this project shut down for some weird reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I keep my work just to YouTube these days. I just, no forums, no nothing, no Discord. I just rather just be in my own personal space just working on this, because at one point I was sharing my work over there. A lot of people did like it because it was something different, but some people wanted... I felt I was kind of blue-balling people because people want a third game. Well, a fourth game, sorry. People want a fourth game. But as we know, it's probably not going to happen in this lifetime. And with my work, it's something different. Sprite animation is very, niche. It's very, very niche. And if I personally felt I was blue-balling people because I was introducing new concepts, new stories, all that fun stuff. And unfortunately, some people did like what I was doing. A lot of people did not like what I was doing. And this is what I meant with the whole gatekeeping thing. But there was this one user who was really, really trying to get this project shut down. Then I just said, I like this community, but unfortunately, my creativity was really just suffering because, damn, that shit sucks when you work hard on something and someone just tries to shut your shit down. So I'm like, you know what, YouTube, I'm in my own little personal space. I can enjoy doing what I'm doing. If people enjoy it, hey, more on you. If you dislike this, dislike it. It just shows me I just need to improve. But yeah, that's my little story. But yeah, that community's very it's very tight knit and very good. Like, there's a lot of good people that support it. It's just a couple bad apples here and there. But that's with almost any community. Okay. I think we should be good now. This took about 38... Oh my god, this took so long. Let me just fix right here, and we should be good to go. Alright, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's good. Damn, it took last time. Okay. So what we're going to do now is save this. Definitely save this. We're going to add another layer to this, which is going to be the background sky. Let me actually grab that. Also, unfortunately, I wasn't able to implement this into the sprite animation because I kind of fucked up a little bit. But this is what I mean. You can make anything possible with these fucking sprites. We did somehow, somewhere, we got the drag gag. Looking at these characters, besides me over here with the skeleton skull, it's so weird seeing everybody on a frontal view. It's so weird. Besides you, you're funny. Hydras, you have the 3/4 angle. Druids, seeing you weird. That is Ruffian. That's a little gag that we made. The druid front is weird. The assassin frontal is weird. He's very yoked. Succubus, very weird, and obviously me up front's weird. But yeah, we somehow, some way got the invincible gag to work. Okay, all right. Let's see. Besides that, what was I gonna do? I was gonna get black sky. Game assets, backgrounds, Golden Sun 1. Where the fuck is it? Dark sky. Copy. Now the fun part, getting layers moved. There we go. It's easy as that. Now we are consistent. Save it. We won't have to come back to Aseprite until like later on in the stream. I hope we don't have to come back. So it took about 30 minutes. All right, so now unfortunately we're going to remove this background. We're going to clear this. We're going to get the new one. Where the fuck did I... Where did I put this? Give me a sec. I put it in... Oh, it's in that file. All right, I do have a separate file just for Mia specific things. So just make sure you keep your files and keep your files coordinated. God, this alcohol is hitting me good, and I can't even speak right now. Just make sure you keep things uniform. Keep things. What's the word? English, like I cannot speak English right now. Make sure you keep everything like clean and like secure and safe places. Don't save things where you shouldn't be saving things. Okay. All right. Go to some lore. Mia. Okay, we'll put this in Mercury. There we go. Mercury at night. We'll put this in the library. There we go. Mercury at night. Since everything is at nighttime now, Mia's sprite and Minardi's sprite are gonna get very, very dark, which is good. It adds to the environment. It adds to the ambiance. There we go. Save it. Let's watch. This looks so much better. This looks so cool. I'm really debating giving Mia and changing her expression. I might. I kind of want to go back to Aseprite, but we might have to. You know, we're just gonna keep it as is. She's only gonna really have the sprite like not that long. I'm still coming up with ideas as I go. Give me a second to think here. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I'd say the best thing about this project is, besides me being in a drunken mess at the moment, probably, a lot of my ideas either come from me just thinking it on the fly and try to implement it. I do have an idea where this is going, the story itself, but a lot of the ideas, it's either I come up with something on the fly and just see if it works, or someone suggests something and we try it. But for the most part, I like how it looks. It's I gotta think about this. Okay, I know what to do. I'm not worried about the effects right now. The effects is something I just deal with later. All right, but we're gonna keep Mia's sprite the same for now. Dev hasn't been active yet, but I need we can transition into another section now. Oh, I know what to do. Because that's where Minardi shows up. Okay. And as usual, for Adobe Animate, you only have 16,000 frames to work with, so be very careful, because as soon as you pass 16,000 frames, you're cooked. You can't add any more symbols. Okay, alcohol is done. Put this at 20 seconds, and we'll go from there. Okay, I gotta think about this. It's not a problem per se with Golden Sun. We know how Golden Sun works. Golden Sun, the battles, you have your background, and your background is primarily where the fight takes place, of course. But the camera moves around a lot. So you have the background repeating a lot. So right now we have this specific scene, and we have Yuri, like where the actual orb is. I can't do that. I can't add that because that's where Isaac and Party are. I'm not gonna make another background. What I'm gonna do is somehow, some way, transition the fight back to the ground again, which is gonna be kind of fun. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Def show up and have Def just attack Mia and blast her. All right. So we'll have you show up right here. Insert blank keyframe. Fuck. Give me a second here. Unfortunately, there's a lot of copyrighted songs showing up soon. All right, we'll go to Black People. Goku Black. Just for 10 minutes. All right. So we're gonna grab Def. Okay, minority. All right, Def. We'll have you teleport and do a slash. All right, we're what's the word? It's learning time again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Def teleport right in front of Mia. She's gonna block it, and we're gonna go from there. So we're gonna go over symbols. So unfortunately, you see how the free transform is on Def right now? You can't just use free transform and change the size. If you do that, he's gonna come up blurry when you play the video. So in order to remedy that, we have to turn this into a symbol. So there's steps to do this. Unfortunately, OBS is terrible at its job. So in order to do this, we need to I'll just follow my drunken guidance right now. You click modify, you go to bitmap, trace bitmap. Color threshold is gonna be on 1, minimum area is gonna be on 1 pixels, corner threshold is gonna be on many corners, curve it's gonna be on pixels. You always have to do this when you're introducing a new asset into the timeline. You always have to convert it into a symbol. And the reason why you're doing this is to obviously make sure it's not gonna be blurry, and so you can actually properly resize this and add effects to this. So right now, as mentioned, we're gonna be tracing Def right now. That's why you see polka dots on. From there, you're gonna press F8 on your keyboard. Call this whatever you want to call it. We're gonna call it Def Attack End. Okay, so now he's a symbol. You can make this however big you want to make it. So we'll scroll out a little bit longer. Oh, big thing. Make sure if you're using a layer, if you're not using a layer, lock it up. All right. Because of plot reasons, Mia cannot get attacked by this. What the fuck? There we go. That's how you know I'm wasted right now. I'm pressing Shift H. Shift H or Control H is how you rotate things in Aseprite. You can't do that when you can't do that in Adobe Animate. So in order for you to rotate the side, rotate things, you click on this. You click on the specific keyframe or symbol, which is Def right now. Modify, transform, flip horizontal. All right. So now we're going to do phasing in or teleports. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this twice. Insert keyframe here. Insert a keyframe here. We're just giving ourselves a couple extra keyframes just in case we mess up. Then we'll get rid of it later. Not a big deal. So we got 4 keyframes. So right now, because this is a symbol right now, we're gonna go turn this into a movie clip. This is gonna be a movie clip. We're gonna put, and this can be vice versa. This can be to your liking, whatever you want to do. But it's either you're gonna be adding a filter blur to this, or you're gonna be adding a blend to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a blur to this first. Make sure this is unlocked. Put the quality on high. Drive this all the way up to 170. I use 170. From there, let's get rid of some of these keyframes because I fucked up a little bit. No, actually, no, it's fine. Yeah, let's get rid of some of these. Clear this. Clear this. Clear this. From here, you're at another keyframe right here. We're gonna put a blend on this. We're gonna put a add blend on this. So that's gonna be white. Fortunately, that's probably not gonna work the way we want it to. So, in order to actually fix this, we'll move the white right here. There we go. So he'll phase in white, then teleport in. Perfect. There we go. So this is how it should look like. And we'll have me a block right there. So again, it really just depends on your personal preference. If I'm doing a cool Shadow the Hedgehog teleport, I'd rather have the blur show up first, then the white. Well, if you're doing a phasing in, it does help if you do the add first, because once you do the add, they turn white. Then the blur shows up, then the attack. The best way for me to show you this is how Minority teleports, because Minority has a typical Shadow the Hedgehog teleport. I can actually find her. Where is she? All right, so we're gonna zoom in on Minority right here. It's right there. So she turns white right there, then she teleports. See the white? Bam. That's how Shadow the Hedgehog normally teleports in Sprite animations. And if you want me to do a full in-depth tutorial, if you have any questions about it, again, just put it in the comment section, because I'm not the best at explaining stuff in stream. English is not my first language, and it does not help. I'm kind of have alcohol in my system right now, so things are just coming out terrible. But unfortunately, I do think better when I'm kind of intoxicated. That's a terrible thing to say. But with Def, him being white and coming in with the teleport actually does help out a lot. So what we have to do now is Mia's gonna block it, but she's gonna get blasted. And I don't have a sprite for her blocking, so you guys know what that means. We have to go back to Aseprite, which should be a lot easier to do this time, because I'm not doing any background shenanigans. Give us a second. All right, this is what I was talking about earlier. Unfortunately, with how suspect this hotel's internet is, there will be random times where the internet does cut out on us, which just happened a few seconds ago. On a good day, it comes back and we don't have any other crazy issues, but unfortunately, that does happen from time to time. So I do apologize. I'll say what I said one more time. So when it comes to that sprite modification, what I like to do is start off with 128 by 128 base to give myself a lot of workspace. All right, here we go. Back to this. So file new, 128 by 128. Bam. All right. Okay, that's enough of Goku Black. Let's actually listen to this go listen to music. Okay, so right now, what we should do is have Mia block. Fuck. You know, we could do something funny here. We're gonna use her casting, one of her castings as a block. Yeah, that's actually kind of funny. She's gonna not have the siphon. She's gonna have the siphon for like a couple more scenes, then she's gonna lose it. We don't have to rotate this that much. Fuck. The only problem with this is I already know I'm gonna have to definitely rotate this, which is unfortunately gonna fuck this up, but it's all good. Wait a minute. Let's do something interesting. It's way too big. Way too big. Unfortunately, we have to do it the way we were going to do it before. Not a big deal. Oh yeah, that's fine, I guess. It's a very rough block. It's extremely rough. But blocking with staffs or just like pole weapons in general is really hard to actually do. I'll give you a good example. Let's bring up Sarah Sprite real quick. Sarah, I had to give her a very complex block. So she has two blocks. Here's her back block, which is fine. And here's her frontal block. But actually find it. Block. Oh yeah, there we go. She's using her knee as a brace for her block. Which is, yeah, this works. It's a very complex block. But with Mia, we're gonna have to just do that. She's blocking the majority of the attack with the strong end of the scythe. Mia scythe block. Always say this as a PNG, people. Okay. Perfect. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. It's been an hour. All right. So what we're gonna do is we'll get us a couple of frames. So we'll have Mia block it right there. Blank keyframe, have Mia sprite disappear. Same thing we did earlier. We're gonna grab. Go to Mia. Oh shit. It's fine. What I normally do is I bring sprites that I make into the training stage, which I probably should right now just to keep things uniform. Just to make sure everything looks good. So we're gonna do that. I'm not gonna skip a step just because I'm not speed running this. I am kind of getting kind of tired. Old age, it's a terrible thing, people. Old age is scary. Okay. Wait a minute. Ah, ha, ha, the random pixel. We'll fix that. Yeah. This is fine. Cool. All right. We shall fix you. That was actually a good idea, Brie. Actually bringing this in there. Good. All right. Back to this. Why am I drawing a blank right now? Okay. Mia block Scythe. And again, she cannot get hit by this. Did I not bring that in there? Oh, I did. Mia Scythe block. Alright, so same thing we went over earlier. We're gonna zoom in on her. Like I mentioned before, unfortunately, we cannot just use free transform by itself because your sprites are gonna come out very blurry. So in order to fix that, we gotta turn this into a symbol. So follow the steps, click modify, bitmap, trace bitmap, color thresholds on 1, minimum areas will be on 1 pixels, corner thresholds gonna be on many corners, curves gonna be on pixels, press F8, just call it whatever you want to call it because you're converting this into a symbol, so the symbol does need a name, so we'll call this Mia Scythe block. Perfect. Now you can size this up to whatever you want to size it up to. We're going to keep things kind of uniform. Object. We'll make this 190 by 190 should be good. So unfortunately, I can already tell this is going to be small. And this does happen from time to time. Even though you'll get the right, you use another symbol size, sometimes it won't match up. So in order to fix this, we're going to use the unending tool. As you can see, this is a little tiny bit smaller than this. So what we're going to do is just make this a little bit bigger. Mia and Minardi sprites are very weird just because they're both very wide. Mostly because Minardi's dress and Mia's coat. But for the most part, this is not that bad. We just need this as a block. Okay. And also, per Sprite animation story, we're only finishing up her fight. Then we're transitioning back into Isaac's section. Then finally we'll be done. Okay. We're just giving ourselves enough space for the hit spark, which is going to be right here. Turn off onioning. So this is how it should be. Boom. We're going to have to probably move this a little tiny bit this way. We're going to grab this, drag this right there. Perfect. Now we're going to go over tweening. We're going to click a keyframe, click on the layer, Mia's layer, insert a keyframe, and we're going to insert another keyframe. So we have point A, point B. Tweening is movement. We use tweening a lot when we want to move sprites. So we're gonna have Mia get blasted all the way over here. So that's where our point B is gonna end up. Point A, point B. So click anywhere in between point A and point B, right click it, create classic tween. So it immediately sets you up on a classic ease, which is pretty much how classic Sonic moves from Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and Knuckles. Pretty much it's gonna be a straight left to right motion, like that. Well, you know what we're gonna do? Yeah, I think that's fine. That's actually fine. We're gonna do an I keep things as an ease in and out. Ease in and out is you start off slowly, then you move. That's how I like to do it because it looks a little bit more natural. Then we'll have Def disappear right there. Cool. Then we'll give ourselves a couple of frames. Then we'll end that right there. Cool. Now we're just gonna put Dark Sky by itself. The reason why we're doing this is because we'll just say she gets knocked off the tower. Well, the lighthouse. Because this fight has to transition back into the bottom of the lighthouse. I just gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna do that. So we might be doing some cool aerial combat. All right. We need motivation. Could probably have Mia do an ice clone like she's been doing before, just as a base. Yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right. Dark Sky by itself. I'm not adding any crazy effects right now because we're gonna wait till later. Oh. There we go. Nope. It's such a great theme. Do 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 do. Okay, perfect. And remember, people, this square, inside the square is your workspace. All right, let's watch. This will definitely look a lot better when we get the camera on. Just thinking. What can I do? Because she's gonna get knocked into the sky, so she's technically gonna be falling downwards. I guess I can have her just lose the scythe. Yeah, right here. I think her losing the scythe right here No, I need her to have a reason she loses the sight. Just having her just lose the grip on it would make no sense. No. I'm just thinking right now. Just give me a minute. All right. We'll have you come from this way. We'll have you do an ice clone and just land on the ice clone. Do 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 do. Copy this. Mia. So we're gonna be doing the same exact thing we've been doing. We're gonna create a tween. Let's give ourselves a good amount of wiggle room. Insert keyframe. Have you end up right there? No, she would have to be right here. Yeah, right there's mine. Oh, I know what we can do. Minardi's at her worst when she has her scythe. All right. We'll do a very funny gag here. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's a good enough speed. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create another layer above Mia. Insert layer. We'll call this Mia effects. This is just for ice clone. So right here, we're gonna copy this. Copy. Zoom in. Paste it right there. What we're gonna do is the bottom frame, we're gonna turn this into a tint. No, it has to be the bottom one. What am I doing? Object, color, tint. Perfect. And that's how I do ice clones. But unfortunately, that tint's a little bit too dark. Way too dark. So, yep, it's that one. So we're going to create a keyframe right here. What the fuck? Excuse my French. What the actual fuck? That's very strange. I've never seen that happen before. Insert keyframe. Why is it doing that? This is what I mean. Sometimes Adobe Animate just does not do what you want it to do. Insert keyframe. What the actual fuck? I don't like that. This is where I was talking about. Adobe Animate likes to fuck up like that. So what I'm trying to do, insert a keyframe, but it doesn't want to insert a keyframe. So it means I might have to restart this. Interesting. Okay. That looks fine. We're gonna copy this. Put this one right here. Paste it. Remove. What the actual fuck is even going on right now? So what you're seeing right now should not happen. Yeah, this kind of got scuffed. So what we're going to do is we're going to start that. Saved it. Adobe Animate. Unfortunately, this is what you do have to deal with Adobe Animate. Sometimes it just does not like to cooperate. So let's give this a minute. So there's a couple things that could be happening. Something got corrupt, which I'm hoping it did not get corrupt, but with the way this program works at times, you just never know. But I haven't added any crazy effects that would cause it to get corrupted. So right now what's going on is we're trying to create a keyframe, copy a keyframe, and it doesn't want to do that. Even when we're inserting a blank keyframe, it's fucking up. So we're just gonna restart it and hopefully that fixes it. If not, I'll be very, very sad. So just give us a minute and we'll go from there. That's the type of thing you just don't want to see happen. If it happens during a longer project, well, if your project's almost done and that happens, that's scary. All right, this song's actually about to end soon. Ooh, let's listen to some tech in. Let's get some hype music in. Okay. So we're just gonna watch this over again just to make sure nothing got corrupted. Okay. So it looks like everything's fine. Insert keyframe. There we go. See, now it's inserting the keyframe. So yeah, just a restart helped, but it's still weird that that happened. Yeah, so we're good. Again, this is the type of stuff I was talking about. You just never know, people. So just, if something happens, just know that maybe it's either you just need a simple restart or something got corrupted. So we're lucky we're at the beginning of this. It would suck, but if it was later on in the project, like near the tail end of it, and this shit happened, oh my god. Anyways, here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna have her come out from the ice clone. That's why we have the ice clone at the top of her. We create a keyframe here. Point A, point B. Create classic ease, classic tween, ease in and out. So this is how it's gonna look. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. There we go. And we'll have her. Where's her normal sprite? Copy this. Okay, perfect. We'll have Def come in for the attack. Ooh, we can do a funny here. Have to be a little bit slower. Again, it's to look rough because we don't have the effects. Because what I do is I use the twinkle effects just to make it look like it's a little bit better. Okay, that's the speed's not bad. Okay, what do we want to do? The speed's not that bad. So what we're gonna do. Let's have him come in again for an attack. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that one more time. All right. Actually, I gotta think about this. All right, copy this. Paste. Oh yeah, always turn off the layer if you're not using it. To make this look a little bit cooler, we're not gonna have him show up just yet. We're gonna have him do a very, very quick attack. There we go. So you just see him like that. I wonder how that's gonna look actually. Let's watch. Okay, that's gonna look really cool. I have an idea. We're gonna have Reed save the day. Mother. Wait a minute. You would have to come from this way then. You're gonna come from that way. You're gonna end up coming this way. We'll have you come up as an effect. This way. Now let's grab you. Fuck. Hold the sun. Summon. Alright, now read. Alright, what size are you? You're gonna be 475.7. 0.7. I'm gonna have to make you just huge. Yeah, here's something. You have to be fucking huge. So I'm not gonna be too worried about that. You have to be very huge. Actually, no, let's not do that just yet. Let's have... We'll have to have a water effect hit it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. Then I'll have you just float down from above. That's what we're gonna have to do. So I have to go to my water effects. Okay, so you're gonna show up right there. So you're gonna have to be like right in front of Mia. This is where things get very interesting. I wasn't trying to add any water effects, right? I wasn't trying to add any effects just yet, but this is a situation where I kind of have to. This might take me a couple of minutes, so just bear with me. Also, because I know this was kind of an issue before, I do have to repeat myself. So there's a reason why I use certain effects. Because we did get a comment not too long ago, like a month or so ago. It wasn't complaining, it was just mentioning that some of the effects do look jarring with the pixels, which is to be understandable. Unfortunately, a lot of the effects that I personally have throughout the years use ActionScript 2.0. And Adobe Animate right now uses ActionScript 3.0. So I'm going to read you the error that I'm getting right now. ActionScript 2.0 is no longer supported in this version of Adobe Animate. This document will now set to publish as ActionScript 3.0. Also, any ActionScript code attached to the symbol or component instances have been removed. Please be sure to convert all ActionScript 2.0 content, e.g. code, to ActionScript 3.0 before publishing. Otherwise, the content will not compile. I don't know how to do that. I still don't know how to do that. So unfortunately, a lot of my effects, because I've been doing Sprite animation since the good old Newgrounds days, are ActionScript 2.0. So if you try to... Sometimes you'll get lucky and Adobe Animate will cooperate with you, but there are certain instances with certain effects that will not cooperate with you. So I have to be very careful with the effects that I personally use, or else all hell just breaks loose. Like Adobe Animate will kamikaze your entire project, because instead of not using an effect that won't support, if you use the entire project as corrupted, and it'll pretty much destroy everything. You'll notice something is wrong when your symbol, like for example me over there, she'll just turn into a white dot. that's when you know all hell's about to break loose. You need to get rid of that it symbol immediately, or else your entire project's gonna just fuck up. It's happened via stream. So there's a reason why I'm using the specific effects that I'm using. It's mostly because I don't have the time to actually go out and find ActionScript 3.0 effects. I just don't have the time. Like IRL just gets in the way because it just gets in the way. I do apologize, but so I'm just using the effects that I personally have throughout the years. I have like 10 gigs worth of effects, so I pick and choose the effects that will work. And unfortunately, it may be jarring to some, but I can only do what I can. So that's the reason why I use certain effects. Okay. It's definitely not gonna be these. This is gonna take me a couple of minutes, so please just bear with me. I just gotta find either an ice attack or a water attack. When it comes to fire, I got a crap ton of fire effects, but when it comes to actual water, I do not. Oh, nope. Ah, good old reliable explosion. I might use that later. I gotta get rid of this one. Hello, Heartspora. Nothing there. And it's more evident in a specific set of effects that I use called Kaya's effects. Kaya's effects, they're really good effects, but a lot of them are not compatible with Adobe Animate. So I'm using my own personal assets right now. So again, just bear with me. That's background. I actually could use that. Yeah, I think I can use that. But I just need him to get blasted out of the way. Not that one. That, it looks fine. We just need a, yeah, I think a blast would be good here. Now, because 9 times out of 10, this is a movie clip, we're just going to add it, probably screen it. We're definitely going to add it. I usually go between add or screening. So I'm going to have you start right there, and you're going to end up, you're going to have to be right here. What have you both hit each other? What the fuck? All right, that's interesting. No, it should not have happened. Insert keyframe. Boom. So this has got to be both an ease and an out as well. Boom. Have you disappear and insert keyframe here. What I'm gonna have to do, we'll keep it like that for now. Let's just see how this looks. I'm definitely have to sleep on this. Damn, it's already about to be 9 o'clock. Fuck. All right. We did about an hour and 30 minutes worth of work. I'm happy about it. Surprisingly enough, the internet did cooperate. It did cooperate with us. We'll have to add an explosion right there. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Now the fun part. I say it's the fun part, but it's really not. So we're gonna go to Kaya's effects. Again, I'd rather not, but we have there's a certain specific thing I want to use. Luckily, I know it's not gonna cause a weird crash. That's not that. What the flash mark? There we go. Good old flash mark. When I can't BS my way out of things, I always do a flash. I'm such a fraud. All right, flash mark. So you guys both hit each other right there. And now we're just gonna where does it end? Right there. I'm so fraudulent. So unfortunately, you guys do see the box. So in order to fix that, you gotta. This is already a movie clip, so you just gotta add a screen to that. So just give me a moment. We'll do like another couple minutes. The future. Properties. Object. It's actually a graphic. This is one of those weird instances where effect starts off as a graphic. 9 times out of 10 it'll be a movie clip, so we have to actually convert this into a movie clip. Would add a screen or just add in general? Let's try it. Let's see how the screen looks. All right, let's watch the movie. Oh, all right. That's not bad. It was just too fast, so we'll watch it again. Again, I'm not worried about frames. Things are gonna be going very, very fast. They're gonna slow down once I start adding frames to things. Frames are your best friends. Perfect. Excellent. So we got Def out of the picture for now. He's not dead, just out of the picture. We'll have Narid show up. We'll have some lore. We'll have the jinns be we'll have them act when they sense danger. Well, that's what it is. Like, sure, you can summon them on your own, but they'll act when they feel like they need to act. Obviously, this is a technically 4-on-1 right now. The way I'm doing it with Minardi's clones, if you attack them, they'll dissipate. Because I can't make Minardi that broken. Then again, the way I'm doing it in regards to balancing is Mia has a buff right now because of, you know, you're at Mercury Lighthouse. The lighthouse arena is lit. You should be getting a buff. Y'all know what I'm talking about with that shit that they pull at the end of Venus Lighthouse. Oh yeah, Earth and Fire are whatever Satoru said. So we get a boost in power. Okay, cool beans. So Isaac and Garrett should get a boost in power too by that logic. Of course, we're not gonna get that logic. Of course, we're not gonna use it. So we're fixing that plot hole. So Mia should be buffed right now. But we needed to balance it out because even if Mia's buffed by Mercury Lighthouse, she still shouldn't stand a chance against Minardi because Minardi, by game files, is level 38. And Mia, without the Mercury buff, is at level 11 when you get her. We could argue she's probably level 14 by the time Isaac and company get up to Tutorials 1. We'll say because of Mercury buff without injuries, she'll be like around the 20s. So she still should have a rough time 1v1 versus Minardi, but Minardi's injured because of what happened in the other Sprite animation. So we got to balance it out some way. All right, we're just to keep things uniform, we'll make you into a symbol. So modify bitmap, trace bitmap, color threshold 1, minimum area 1 pixels, corner threshold many corners, curve fit pixels. F8 to convert it into a symbol, call whatever you want to call it. We'll call it just Narid. And there you go. There's no turtle. We got rid of that turtle. You should be massive. We'll have them say... Well, I'll come up with lore for this later. All right, fuck. What am I doing? Save. There we go. Insert keyframe. This has to be an ease in and out. This has to be very slow. It's just for yapping purposes. Now, back to this. Ooh. We're about to do a funny. We're gonna have to do it like this. All right, that's enough of dubstepping. If I can find this. There's a specific one I want to use, but I can't find it. Oh, it's a speed line. Yeah, it's definitely the speed line. Dude, dude, dude. Damn it, that was the one I wanted to use. Hmm. Can I think I can do this. Yeah, let's not use that. What the fuck? Clear keyframe. Clear keyframe. This would make a lot more sense. Just trust me on this. Blank keyframe. I would have to actually have this show up. Hmm. Yeah, we'd have to do it that way. Copy this. Blank keyframe right there. I think it's at least 2 frames. It should be 3 frames. Gonna turn this into a graphic just to see where it ends. Oh, what the fuck? So this is actually 5 frames. Okay. So that's 4. Actually, no, I think this will be fine. This would have to disappear. Let's just watch it. Oh, yep, perfect. Perfect. I should not be popping off, but perfect. It makes sense. We could do a very quick plan and slash. Okay. We just have to add a lot of frames. That's the only thing that's fucking this up right now. Like I mentioned before, frames are your best friend. Actually, let's listen to some initial D before we wrap this up. Okay. We got a lot done. We definitely got a lot done. Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's actually good. Like that speed line is actually perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So let's watch it one more time. The hardest part with sprite animations, to be honest, is you can make something, but you have to make sure it's better than the last project you did. Okay. Well, you have to add a lot of frames right here. Having the gins act on their own is actually not bad. That's actually a good idea. Ah, even better. I was looking for that. This is what I was actually looking for. We gotta make this shit angelic as fuck. Excuse my French. We'll call this fluff effects. Speed lines 15. Note save. We're really making this shit angelic. The fuck? I'm gonna have to probably most likely add this. Just fine. We'll add it instead of screening. Then we'll have you flash out of there. Wait, we actually don't even need that anymore. On your spine. So right there, disappear, blank. Why you can hardly swallow. This is just for yapping purposes. All right, let's watch. The problem is I have to do this a specific way. The speed line has to come a little bit later. Why you can... Yeah, definitely has to come a little bit later. Not a big deal. Train. Why you can... I figured. So this has to be a... This has to be a screen. Live and learn. This will be annoying. All right, not a big deal. So right there. All right, this has to be a... Is this a graphic right now? No. Right there. All right, let's watch the movie again. That one's gonna be annoying to deal with, but we should be fine. All right. Anyways, good stuff. We did a lot today. A lot of Aseprite, but it just comes with the territory. Unfortunately, you just gotta deal with the suck. And as usual, thank you guys for the constant support on this. That's perfect. Bingo. That's how we have to have it. Thank you for the constant support on this. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, just put it in the comment section. Dislike it if you want to dislike it. That just shows me areas that I need to improve on. But as usual, thank you guys for the constant support. You guys are the ones that make this possible. And let's make this a very good project. If you have any suggestions, just let me know. I'll try to implement it somehow, some way. We got firearms to work. So anything is possible. So thank you as usual. And we'll continue on. But what I'm going to do here real quick, I just need to give this a little bit more oomph. The good thing about this is that effect doesn't have a specific area where it ends, so I can just extend it for as long as I want. Fuck. All right. All right, let's do one more rewatch. Let's do one more watch, then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to stream this, but we got a lot done in these 2 hours, and thank God the internet didn't die on us. All right. That came out beautiful. Excellent. All right. Besides that, like I said, everybody, we did good today. We got a lot of shit done. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the vlog, guys. We out. Good night, guys.